Magic fans, I'm Beef and welcome back to another standard gameplay video, and today we are playing a red, blue or Izzet discard deck. So one of the new metas in Aetherdrift is a self-discard deck, and it's something that we've not seen in a while. I could be wrong, but I think we may have last seen it in Ikoria, which was a good few years ago, which was mainly a cycling deck as opposed to discard deck. This deck is a lot of it is built around cycling, but it is more a wider discard theme. And one of the main cards is Monument to Endurance, which you may have seen if you watch other content creators. It's a 3-mana artifact, and it says whenever you discard a card, choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn, draw a card, create a treasure token, or each opponent loses 3 life. And these are three very useful abilities. And what's really interesting, I think, is that create a treasure token is it's not tapped. Wizards have made a move to creating tapped treasure tokens, but I do think because you can only choose it once a turn, that might be why it comes in untapped. So drawing cards is always great, ramping is always great, but each opponent losing 3 life, that quickly adds up. And because Monument isn't legendary, if you have more than one of these, you can be draining your opponent for 3, 6, 9 a turn. And obviously if you have ways to discard a card on your opponent's turn, you can then get these triggers all over again. And we also have a lot of new creatures that also like discarding cards. In the 1-drop section, we have Marauding Mako, a 1-mana pirate. This is a pirate deck as well. Most of the creatures are pirates. So you could lean into that with something like Roaming Throne. I haven't, I think it's too expensive. But you could if you wanted to. So Shark Pirate, 1-mana, 1/1. It has Cycling 2. And it says whenever you discard one or more cards, put that many +1/+1 counters on this creature. So if we discard a card, it gets a +1/+1 counter. I don't think we have any ways to discard multiple cards. There are ways with, say, Brass's Tunnel Grinder, which lets you discard basically up to your entire hand. But we've not played that. Again, I think that can be a bit expensive for something that doesn't necessarily impact the board. Then in the 2-drop, we have Scrounging Skyray, which is a 2-mana 1/2 flying, and it has exactly the same ability and cycling as the Mako. Then other new cards, Boosted Sloop is a 3-mana 3/3 vehicle with menace. It has crew 1, which is a really low crew cost. It says whenever you attack, you draw a card, then discard a card. That's not attack with the sloop, that's attack with anything. So if you play this on turn 3 and you already have a Mako or a Skyray or a combination and attack, you get that discard, draw, discard, and then you can start growing your board. We also have a Broadside Barrage, 3 copies of this, which is a removal. It does 5 to a target creature or planeswalker. Then we draw and discard. And it's an instant, so we can do it on our opponent's turn, meaning we can re-get the triggers for Monument Endurance if we've exhausted all the ones during our turn. Or, we deal 3 on our turn and want to deal 3 on our opponent's turn. And then the final new card is Clamorous Ironclad, which is a 4-mana 6/3 vehicle with menace, crew 3. However, it has Cycling 1. We will never play this for it's as a vehicle. We just basically this is 1 mana, put a +1/+1 counter on a lot of our board. So that is the last new card. And then round out the deck, we do have quite a lot of removal in Into the Floodmoor and Torch the Tower. 3 copies of Malcolm, Alluring Scoundrel, which has flash and flying, and says when it does combat damage to a card, we put a chorus counter, then we draw and discard. Then if there are 4 more chorus counters on Malcolm, we may cast to discard a card without paying its mana cost. That last bit's not particularly relevant, but it is really good that we can flash it in on our opponent's turn and then start attacking to draw and discard. Then we have 2 copies of Staunch Crewmate, which we have played in our pirate deck. When it ETBs, we look at the top 4 cards of a library. We may reveal an artifact or pirate card from among them, put them into our hand, put the rest on the bottom of our library in a random order. And obviously, Mako and Skyray are pirates. Ironclad is a artifact, so hit all of those. And then 3 copies of Inti, Seneschal of the Sun, 2-mana 2/2. Whenever we attack, we may discard a card, again getting all those triggers. When we do, put a +1/+1 counter on target attacking creature, it gains trample. Then whenever we discard 1 or more cards, exile top card of a library, we may play that card into our next end step. So it's not our next turn, which is kind of annoying, but it is card advantage. So if we attack with a Marauding Mako, we discard a card, we get that trigger from the Mako, and then we get a +1/+1 counter on it as well. Same with a Scrounging Skyray, and obviously if we exile a card, we might be able to play it. If we've created treasure from Monument to Endurance, or if it's a land, we can play it that way. Mana base, as you expect, islands, mountains. We've got the new River Pyre Verges, which are obviously really, really powerful. 2 copies of Shivering Reef, 4 copies of Spire Bluff Canal, and a couple of copies of Cavern of Souls. As I said, a lot of our cards are pirates. Malcolm is also a pirate and also a staunch crewmate, so these will be hit by our staunch crewmate, obviously. And then just rounding out the deck, Torture Tower and Into the Floodmoor to help go into the late game. Biggest problem I found with this deck is lands. We are playing 22 lands because there's a reasonably low curve, and because once it gets going, we have a lot of ways to draw cards. Malcolm draws, Monument Endurance draws, we can cycle things, Boosted Sloop draws, Broadside Barrage draws, and Inti exiles a card we can play that turn. So once it gets going, we will be knee deep in cards, but if for whatever reason we can't get going, we can get mana screwed, which is a bit of an issue, but it doesn't happen that often. And this is a really powerful card deck. It looks like an aggro deck, in some ways it is, but it's actually more of a mid-range deck. The idea, you're playing 1-1s and 1-2s, they ain't going to win you anything, but by you get into the mid-game where you can attack while you've got a boosted sloop, and like an Inti, you're discarding a couple of cards, getting a couple of triggers, drawing a card with Monument Endurance, creating a treasure token, or draining your opponent, suddenly you can go from, we're attacking with a 5/5 Skyray, draining you for 3, then we broadside barrage on our opponent's turn, draining for 3 and killing them. So it can go from 0 to 60 pretty quickly. So I do really enjoy that. So had a great time playing the deck. I hope you enjoy it too, and I'll see you all in the gameplay. We go first, and we do have a 1-drop. Well, I think we just hold up Malcolm. Oh, let's play our Monument. We will, I think, go to Captain Howler for now. And I think we just create a treasure token. That will go, we can hold up into the Floodmoor if we need to. Oh, that's really annoying. But at least they can't replay the Warden. They replay the Warden, we can torch the tower it. They seem to be... Oh no, so they seem to be stuck on lands. Oh, that is frustrating. I need a way to grow the Mako. Technically that can. We kill their Knight Captain, although they do have another one. But technically we can broadside barrage it. It's probably what we'll do. Well, we can even do that and play Malcolm. We'll take out the Evangelist. We'll just kill the recruiter. We are still going to take a bit of damage. They're not attacking with everything. I think I'm going to have to hold back. We can flash in Malcolm to block a bat. Probably didn't want to tap the bats there. Let's draw a card. We won't play out the cavern. Just so we have something to discard with Malcolm and then we will... Let's get him to lose 3 life. And we can broadside barrage something. Oh, I thought I was an Immodane's recruiter for a second. I'm glad it wasn't. Is that to the end of your next turn, so they can play it next turn? Yeah, that's going to be a problem. We can get him down to 6 this turn, just with the monument. 3 on their turn, on our turn, by attacking. And yeah, our opponent scoops it up. So let's just have a quick count. We can block 3 things. Yeah, so we only do 9 to us. So it wasn't actually that far away. Obviously, we can just kill him on the backswing with our creatures. And I say we can get him down to 3 monument endurance. And then, yeah. We have no, well, we have no 1-drop. We can play Staunch Crewmate and hopefully find one of our many pirates. We do have Torch the Tower now. And we'll just kill their Siren. Mako's good. Well, we just play Monument Endurance. And next turn we can well, I think we play out the Mako. Yeah, and I think, well, we can wait to see what they do. And we can broadside barrage. Probably the Enduring Curiosity. The crewmate's done its job. Yeah, let's go to the Shivan Reef. Let's draw. I think we Inti. I think we put back the broadside barrage. Let's draw a card. I think we hold up into the Flood Moors.
Looks like I gotta fight my way out of this one.
We'll bounce their Enduring Curiosity.
Take a break, will ya?
Well, then we play out another Monument. And I think we can attack down Kaito. Let's get rid of a boosted sloop. Let's draw a card. And let's draw a card. I would like another land. There we go. I don't think they understand how trample works.
This needs more hospitality.
And I think now we just start draining them with Monument. Well, let's put back our NT. We'll discard a Torch to the Tower. And we'll discard our Spire Bluff Canal. Create a treasure. Create a treasure. And then we may as well play out things in exile. We'll bargain. Sack a treasure. I will keep that. And yeah, our opponent scoops. We exile their Enduring Curiosity. I don't think they actually managed to draw a card off two of them. Well, I think we play this on Pirate. And Skyray into Inti. Part of me tempted to Torch the Tower while we have the option without putting any other counters on things. Green red. Well, hello, Scrounging Skyray. You will not be denied. You do miss a land drop, though. That's a problem. Well, we have to win T. These missing land drops are an issue. And that Screaming Nemesis is a real issue. Well, we hit a land. Let's get rid of the sloop. Create a treasure token. And I assume they will activate Scavenger News, and in return, we kill it. They do obviously get to put a counter on. They can't put it on the ooze. I don't think we can do enough damage. We discard our island. Oh, we can do enough damage. And then we just take out their Inti. That doesn't matter. I don't think they've got a way to gain life. We draw, then discard. Which triggers our monument. Which kills them. Ooh, that was close. Well, our opponent goes first, but hopefully Staunch Crewmate can find some of our discard payoffs. Well, there is one. I think next turn we play out Monument. the turn after, I think we play out Mako and Scrounger, and then cycle the Ironclad. Probably creating a treasure. I'm worried they have a sweeper. They only have one white. Fair enough. We will still cycle the Ironclad. Well, we'll do this now then. We'll draw a card. Another Skyray. We will sacrifice our crewmate. Well, let's get down the sloop and a second Skyray. I don't think we need 3 boosted sloops. If they play another Tithing Blade, we'll probably crew the sloop and sack that. We'll play out another sloop. They must have removal. Yeah, we're nowhere near being able to do lethal. But we can next turn. So you want another Tithing Blade. Let's just cycle these now. Monument's good. That'll be lethal then. Because we can just Monument, attack in, and yeah. This goes up to an 8, and we do 3 with the Monument, killing them. We go first with a pretty good hand. We do need ways to discard. I think we just hold up into the Floodmoor. I will take 3. Yeah, let's get another Mako. But I won't play it. We did technically mess up a bit. We should have done this a smidge earlier. Well, obviously, they don't have anything. Let's keep up into the Floodmoor again. And next turn we could bust his sloop and Mako. Didn't even put a stop in that time. They do hit another land. I mean, they obviously have something. But that's fine. Crewmate's not doing much. We'll draw a card. We'll do that now. And we can crew the sloop. Which we will do. And we'll draw a card. Are they far enough? But they are. So we will torch the tower, the challenger, and we'll take 4. Well, I'll do this now. In case we draw something useful. Int is pretty good, and so is Torture Tower. Let's discard into the Floodmoor. We'll create a treasure token. Let's discard a land. Oh, it's really annoying. This goes away, so we may as well cast it. But if we could do it on their turn, we could have just had lethal. And yeah, they can give Manifold Mouse double strike, which could kill our boosted sloop, but unless they had any way to buff Swiftspear, we could just obviously not block, but we would have crewed the sloop and blocked. Our opponent goes first. Mako into Inti is pretty good. And then into boosted sloop as well. We just have to hope it doesn't die. Just up the beanstalk. So next turn we may see a Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Let's discard Mountain. We do lose a Shivan Reef. Oh. Everything is a non-creature and non-land, apart from the Shivan Reef. Yeah, I thought they might. We can play the canal on our turn. Oh, don't kill Inti. Oh, why have you not killed that as well? Looks like we're playing out of Spire Bluff Canal then. Them killing our Mako, exiling our Mako was a real bummer. They knew we had this. Let's discard our island. And let's draw a card. And yeah, our opponent scoops. We couldn't actually play anything exiled or anything else. We didn't draw another land, but we were about to smack them for a decent amount. Hello Magic fans, and welcome back to the wrap up. So as I said in the deck tech, this is a powerful deck when it gets going. We have so much card draw or card advantage, and then ways to kill our opponents seemingly out of nowhere with Monument to Endurance. Can be a bit slow getting there, and if you don't have the right opening hand, if you're stuck with, well, no 1-drops or early plays or no way to trigger the discard for the Mako or the Skyray to start growing. I think the MVP of the deck is probably Inti, giving our growing our creatures twice from the counter itself, and the discard is really powerful, but then giving it trample, and it can great way obviously to get through our deck with that exile effect. Obviously Monument to Endurance is what the deck is all built around, but I think Inti really brings it all together. As I said, you can play Roaming Throne for the pirate synergy. There is another card, Captain Howler, which I was excited to play, and I will play in Brawl, but I just thought it was a bit too slow. It's 4 mana, but it can buff our creatures as well when we discard cards. You can also play this deck with a more Spellslinger type without any of the creatures, which I think I will do at some point. And there's also a discard, well, a cycling deck with all the vehicles that cycle, and then obviously you get some benefit from Monument of Endurance, but then there's a card, I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's like 7 mana red. Get back all vehicles from your vehicles and mounts from your graveyard. They gain haste and sacrifice at end of turn. So that's something I'm definitely going to play as well. But in the meantime, I really hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you all in my next video.